Our guest today is Pastor Lekundayo from the Northern Tanzania Union Conference. Welcome, Pastor.
Thank you so much.
I understand that you are Maasai.
Yes, I'm a Maasai.
And that you grew up on the savannah in Tanzania as a shepherd boy.
Sure.
Can you tell me a little bit about how the shepherd boy came to be a Seventh-day Adventist church leader?
Well, I could call it, it was God's really plan from the beginning. Maybe it's like what Jeremiah says, that God called him since he was in his mother's womb. Because first of all, I went to school to be enrolled for school, but it was not my father's plan, or rather my dad's plan. My dad's plan was to swap me with my elder brother, who has the age needed for school. And when I went to school, my dad expected that in any case, they would have never accepted me for school, for I was underage. And I still remember my day one to school, when the teacher asked me to stretch my hand over my head and try to touch the tip of the ear. There's no way he would have asked me how old I was, because he knew I was not able to tell when I was born. And when I tried to stretch my hand over my ear, I could not touch it. And I looked into the face of the teacher, and I heard him saying, of course through the translator, he's still underage, so we can't enroll him. But later again, he changed his words and said, well, we will enroll him for school. And he should tell his dad that as from today, he has to come to school. If he doesn't come to school, his dad will be taken straight to the prison. And so that's how I got enrolled for school. And of course, I continued. God was on my side every time. I passed my exams for primary school. I went to secondary schools. And when I was finishing my last year for O levels, the late Faris Muganda, who is the father to Dr. Baraka Muganda, who happened to have been a youth director of GC, he was conducting an evangelistic campaign just beside the walls of the school where I was. I was a boarding school student. And so I kept on absconding from the school, attending these meetings, and thank God I got converted. And I became a Seventh-day Adventist. And from then, I had plans to go to train to become a teacher, something I did. And I taught for 10 years. But I had never had satisfaction in my heart. I always had a voice inside calling me that there is something bigger than being a teacher which you could do. So no wonder later I went to train again to become a minister of religion, or rather a pastor, something which took me like 2 years to get my ministerial diploma. And after finishing, I went to be a district pastor, something I enjoyed most, visiting church members and non-church members for about 8 years before I was elected to become a global mission pioneer. And that's the time, I should say, when I enjoyed the ministry most, because I could visit, unentered territories. Coming from the unreached people background, I really enjoyed taking the message, or rather the gospel message, to these people who had never heard about it. And I recruited many lay pioneers, and I visited them, shared their experiences, encouraged them. And as I said before, if I was to talk about the time I enjoyed working as a pastor, that was the time.
Mm-hmm. How have global mission projects and pioneers affected the Adventist work in Tanzania? What difference have they made for you?
The global mission has done a lot in Tanzania because, of course, as you could imagine, we don't have enough pastors. And even if we wish we could reach everywhere, but it has never been practical. So all what we have always been doing is to send these lay pioneers to, like clearing the bush, let me call it clearing the bush. They go ahead before even we start to establish church companies and church congregations. And it is then after they have gone and cleared the way when you can bring a pastor who could now start to organize these new converts into church companies, into church, organize the churches, And we really thank God for them. They have always done what could never have been done if not because of the Global Mission pioneers.
What is the greatest challenge that Global Mission faces in your union?
The Global Mission pioneers, the greatest challenge, I will say, is transport. You know, most of them, they can't afford even to buy a bicycle, so they will spend many hours, walking on their feet, and the hot savannah, sunshine, and by the time they visit from one home to another, they are totally exhausted. They can't, what I'm saying is that they can't visit many homes because they don't have any kind of transport.
How do you think that being a Global Mission Director has impacted your approach to mission as the president of your union?
Well, as the president of the union, you see there are two big things. When we sit in our meetings, which I normally chair as the Union Executive Committee chair, when they bring up anything to do with global mission, I have really that attitude, positive attitude about it, because it is something myself I went through. I've seen how it works for the better and how it makes the work to move faster. And secondly, it gives me that spirit of visiting these lay pioneers with limited time I have, but I visit them and encourage them.
Viewers at home, thanks for joining us today. If you would like to help support the transportation needs of our pioneers all over the world, please visit AdventistMission.org and click on the Donate page. Thank you so much for your support.